Hi, it's Zeke with the Eastside Church of Christ in Baytown, Texas. Thanks for joining us today for another episode of Looking Up. We just got done with our Thanksgiving holiday, and as a special post-Thanksgiving offering to God, we held a special prayer service on the Sunday after Thanksgiving at the Eastside Church where I worship. We read through Psalm 103, we sang songs that were lifted from the sentiments of that psalm, and we offered prayers of thanks to God for the blessings that are extolled in that psalm. The psalm begins and ends with an encouraging exhortation. There's the phrase, "Bless the Lord, O my soul," that begins the psalm and ends the psalm. You might say they're bookends. And the bookend phrase, "Bless the Lord, O my soul," is a reminder that we, the recipients of God's great gifts, can in turn bless Him. But how do you do that? How do you bless the giver? How do you offer to the greatest gift giver any kind of gift that's suitable for Him? Well, I've got some suggestions. First, let me suggest to you that part of blessing God is in recognizing His worth, is realizing who He is. And as we read through Psalm 103, our congregation recognized several things. In verses 1 through 5, we saw God's forgiveness. In verses 6 through 14, we recognized God's great mercy and grace. In verses 15 through 18, we saw His protection. And finally, in verses 19 through 22, we recognized God's sovereignty. And these characteristics alone set Him apart from mere man, certainly, but from every other living being. It reminds us of His might, His power, His holiness. Only a great God possesses these qualities. But another part of blessing God is in praising Him, giving Him thanks and worship. And so we sang songs that extolled His excellence. We offered prayers that spoke of His highness. And in these songs and prayers, we affirmed our high thinking of Him as we offered Him praise, thanks, and worship. But can I suggest to you that the proof of blessing is in obedience? The psalm tells again and again of what God has done for us, the undeserving. And recognition of His kindness ought to motivate us to a proper response to His grace towards us. In fact, the last few verses of the psalm tell of God's spiritual beings who perform His word, obey His voice, and serve Him, doing His will. And we can take our cue from those angelic beings. Our obedience that springs from a changed life, that shows every decision and choice is guided by His will, is, in my opinion, the highest form of blessing that we can return to the one who first blessed us. I think it's part of what Jesus had in mind when He said, "Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven," in His Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5 and in verse 16. So we can bless God. We can bless Him, praise Him, thank Him, worship Him by obeying Him. So yes, it's possible to look up and bless the blesser, to gift the giver. I want to leave us today with the beginning of Psalm 103, verses 1 and 2. "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget none of His benefits." And again, can I suggest that if we forget none of His benefits, it'll drive us, motivate us to give Him all the blessing that's within us. Well, thanks for joining us today. So glad you did. Hope we'll see you again. God bless you.